You're now listening to episode 81 of Signed In, an Xbox 360 podcast, recorded on November 19th, 2011. Find us online at signedinpodcast.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Signed In. I am Jeremy Superfro33.
I'm Craig Propdresser.
And I'm Sean Shonix.
How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Good.
You ready for a weird show?
This is going to be a very weird show. I apologize. I've already apologized on Twitter for my lack of content for this show.
Yeah.
Because I've been pretty much nothing but Skyrimming.
Skyrim.
But we're going to flip it all around.
Yeah.
Craig's got like 2 disc games to talk about.
That's right.
Sean is the only one with Indy Games to talk about.
What?
I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
It is. It's total anarchy.
It is.
We like to keep people on their toes.
Do you? I just don't like to do
Then I can
anything
push
other
them
than
over
play
easier.
Skyrim.
If they're standing up on their toes, they got less balance.
On an edge.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I felt weird renting Skyrim and Call of Duty 4. Look at me, or 3. Look at I went into the future.
He went into the future 2 years. in advance.
Well, it's technically Call of Duty 8.
Yeah. That,
Modern
At
Warfare
least.
3.
I'm jumping ahead.
You are. Well, I mentioned I have Skyrim to talk about. I also have some Call of Duty Modern
I
Warfare.
thought you were going to say, I also
3.
have some Skyrim.
I have
Skyrim.
non-stop Skyrim. The last, when you downloaded this episode and you noticed it was 4.5 hours, yours is Skyrim. Just so you know ahead of time.
There are some people who are going to be looking forward to that now. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not making it up.
Some people.
I hope you guys are ready. Brought your chamber pots and everything.
You can leave. It's
So
fine.
that we can all sit in.
Well-
and I had some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Right.
And a little bit of Goldeneye, I think, that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about GoldenEye Reloaded 007. That's really
Style?
a weird way to organize it. Shouldn't it be 007 GoldenEye Reloaded?
Yeah, I think it, I've seen it in like different places worded differently.
Yeah.
So I've seen it like 3 different
confusingly
ways.
worded.
So,
And I'm going based
knows?
off of the cover.
There you go. James Bond, 007, Goldeneye, Reloaded.
I've also got a bit of Batman
Mature
Arkham
audiences.
City to come back to because I've been working hard on those challenge rooms.
Nice.
Oh boy. and I finished the game, so I might have a few final thoughts on that part.
Cool.
Nice.
I've also, XBLA style, I got some BurgerTime World Tour to return to, and a little bit of Fusion Genesis.
I'm going to check that one out.
Genesis.
I did not check it out.
I checked out that Exotic, but I'm not going to talk about it.
You just did.
I know.
That
I'm not
probably
gonna
says
talk
more
in
than
depth
anything you
about
could have
it.
said.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
Like I said before, I got some Skyrim, some Modern Warfare 3. I also rented Saints Row 3, and I tried out a couple indie games. A sequel of one of my a favorite of mine.
I made a really hard decision this week to not check out like 100 games that came out this week because we got Assassin's Creed, we got Need for Speed, we got Saints Row, we got that Disneyland Adventures, which I want to check out. I don't care if you call me a baby.
I won't.
There's a ton of
Only
stuff
if you
that came
play it
out.
on easy.
And I knew that Skyrim was sitting there and it wasn't going to matter.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing coming out in the next like 4 to 5 weeks, hardly, like between now and the new year. So I'm going to spread some of those out. So we'll be a little delayed on some of that information, but I will be checking out those other games. At least
Well,
I
that
will.
does tarnish our reputation for being
Yeah.
right
On
on
the
moment.
forefront?
Yeah, we're there automatically.
We're leading the charge.
You heard it here first.
Did anybody else check out that new Grand Theft Auto trailer?
Oh, you have that to talk about too, because you're not paying us $200.
Here's the thing.
Well, I saw that you played Grand Theft 4.
Yeah,
I saw that you played it.
Here's
but
the thing. I hate that I'm out of paying you guys money on a technicality because I did play it, and what I promised is I would play it.
Yes.
I did not finish it, and I really did want to play more of it.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't.
Well, that's
But I
good.
did play it.
I'm glad that I think that's cool that you liked it.
I got to be honest with you, it was hard to get back into it. The like play style
Yeah.
of
Oh,
GTA,
yeah.
like once you're away from it,
Yeah.
like getting back into it was a little bit.
Agreed.
You're like, where's my sword?
And I was, I told Sean, or maybe I told you, Craig, that I couldn't find it. My Grand Theft Auto.
You didn't tell me that. No.
couldn't-
Oh no, you did.
I couldn't
Yeah,
find my
actually.
GTA 4.
I remember now.
Oh.
So that Sunday after we did our show, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this son of a bitch. I'm gonna fucking play it. because I'm not paying these fuckers money.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to finish it, and it's going to be awesome. And I couldn't find my game anywhere.
I didn't have it.
I know. You didn't have it. But I was looking, and I was like, nobody's going to believe me when I go, hey, guys, crazy thing. I couldn't find the game. You guys are never going to believe this. It's missing. But I did find it. So I was able to play a little bit of it. But I was freaking out for a little bit. I'm like, I did not lend this to anybody.
Planning a trip to
Sean stole this to get $100.
I did. I
Snuck in my house.
Best plan ever.
I totally snuck in. I was splitting with Aaron,
Sean,
so you know. I didn't sneak in.
Sean, can I borrow your copy? No, I don't think so.
Somebody stole mine.
I can't find mine.
Did I loan it to you?
So I'm not really going to talk about it because I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do more than like a handful of missions, like a couple hours into it. But I need to get back to it. At least I played it.
But that was Lost in the Dam,
good.
right?
It was Lost in the Dam.
So that was good motorcycle fun, though.
It was okay. I think my problem is I don't like any of those characters that are in that DLC at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Like even the main guy you are is an asshole.
I like him.
He's a dick. He just talks like a dick.
Nobody in GTA is an asshole.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just weird stuff going on with this one for me.
No, I can. It's all right.
All right, let's talk about real games.
Okay.
I'll kick it off with Indy.
Yeah, Sean, you're
Do it to it.
Not only kick it off, you're going to kick it off and finish. Do it.
That's my regular Saturday night.
Do it, brah.
Brah. Hey, brah. So I got Invasion.
That's how we're talking now.
Invasion, it was for 80 points from Heart Attack Machine was the name of the company.
Yes.
Good
I did
company.
actually play this one.
So it's a very Contra Russian attack-esque type of feel with a little bit not that great at graphics. It's very pixelated. Not finished, not like, not a good polish on it. Oh. But still, you're just, you're this like soldier, a private, and there's an invasion, alien invasion. And you're this private called Stockton, and you're sent in by the commander, who's this like one patched-eyed, grumpy guy.
Right.
And it's just the classic.
Does he have a cigar?
Yeah, and you come in on and it's all cartoony, and you come in on like this like motorcycle, like hovering motorcycle jet, and it's supposed to be. It starts off like this is a secret mission, and he's like, I'm really good at stealthy missions, and then he gets shot down. So it's like right from the get go, it's like and then they start kind of making fun of other games and like not making fun of
Contra shout out at one point.
It's very spoofish and just like fun, and then the innuendos start kicking in, and it's just like I had a lot of fun with it.
It's pretty funny.
You can switch. You got two different weapons. One's kind of like a spread missile shot, and one's just like a weird laser shot. And then those you don't really run out of ammo. They're just kind of on a meter,
heater. They got a heat meter.
Yeah. Okay. So then they'll overheat.
So do I.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
It's off the charts.
Yeah.
Yours is like a turkey, though. It just pops up.
It sure did.
Oh, red lipstick.
Just.
So, and then your left and right bumper, you can shoot diagonal. So I like that. That was in the tutorial. Nice. So you can, it wasn't just shooting up or straight and back and forth.
Yeah, if you hold both of them, you can shoot directly up.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice. At first, I wasn't sure how easy that would be to use the bumpers, but actually it turned out pretty nice.
It wasn't bad at all.
And it's not a situation where a Contra where you have to stop to move it. An angle.
That's the advantage. You can keep moving.
That's good.
And then it's kind of then you get your A to jump. And I played through it for my time. I'm thinking about purchasing it. It's only 80 points, so it's only $1. I was having fun with it. It was a little funny. The music's a little. I don't know. The music's a little weird for the game because it has kind of like a. I don't. It was hard to. It was weird starting off, but I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I kind of disagree with Sean about the graphics. I like the graphics. They were a little blurrier than a lot of other pixelated games.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was going for like a slightly later like Nintendo.
Well, it
style.
reminded me of Russian Attack.
Yeah.
And how that one was more blocky.
Right.
But this had a little bit of a, the kind of
it's got kind of a fuzz on it.
A little fuzz to it.
I agree.
I still enjoyed it, but I mean, and then plus this guy Stockton, he looks nothing like his character. Because
the dialogue boxes are like cartoony looking.
And he looks like the biggest tool in the world, but his character's all contrastanding, with the big gun and stuff. So, and there's neat little things that happen throughout it. Like you're like, oh, you got to take out these guys, and then something else happens, and it's kind of. I had a lot of fun. With that
it's pretty funny.
Also, I had Robot Platformer 2.
Nice.
This is for 80 points from Cord. I bought it right away, but from Cord DK. I talked about it on episode 75 of the show of the first one.
Yeah.
And it's essentially.
Was I here for that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's essentially the same type of game. But the puzzle's a little bit different. There's 42 different levels. Music is a little bit, they upped it a little bit, added some more different tracks that I think of, because there's a couple different tracks that I don't remember from the first game. Still has the co-op to it. Still a lot of fun. I'm kind of, this one's a little bit harder than the last one. I kind of sailed through the first one. Not fast, but you know, a lot better than this one. I'm getting kind of held up on some of the different levels, but still, I dig it. It's just simple, and some of them are fun. So
awesome.
Yeah, and that's all I got from Indy.
I think that taps me out too. Sorry. Was there an indie game version of Skyrim this week?
Yes,
actually 3.
3. Well, I wouldn't have known because I was playing real Skyrim. So. Hater. Not a hater. Just highly distracted. From real life, even.
Yes.
So how about some XBLA?
Yeah, let's shift gears to XBLA. So let's step back in time a little bit for some burger time. I can't speak, apparently. For some more BurgerTime World Tour.
But can you make burgers?
Apparently, I can make burgers with the best of them.
Nice.
No. So I've gotten to play.
It says on your business card. They're terrible business cards.
Oh, come on. I've gotten to play a lot more with BurgerTime. And, you know, I mentioned on the last show that we talked about it, I believe, that I do have a nostalgia for BurgerTime. I liked the original game a lot. And I did encounter some of the things that Sean was complaining about, where it's kind of hard to see see enemies on occasion, especially because later you get like these habanero enemies, and they're like squat and small. And so like if they're walking over like the top bun, which puffs up, then they can kind of blend in a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
Whatever. But you know, there's more cool power-ups. We talked about the spatula last time, but there's also like a rocket that will basically shoot you up so you can fly up to higher levels.
Nice.
And like a soda that you can drink to make you run faster and all of that. You can also pick up like letters to spell burger as sort of an additional challenge to gain more points for the level. And I found that really the key is to try and get your time as low as possible, because even if you get a bunch of bonus points, then if you want a higher ranking, basically, then it's not quite enough. It's really that time that is the key. So, you know, my strategy now is to go to the highest point possible, run around, knock things down, and, you know, work my way down that way. There are boss battles in each of the worlds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've gone through USA and Mexico, and I just started France, I believe, and the last one is Japan or whatever. But yeah, there are boss battles, and they're interesting. So basically, you have to you're competing against another chef, and you have to basically make 3 burgers in that span of time. But they're trying to kill you, basically.
Yeah.
Like any good chef would.
Exactly.
To the competition.
Yes.
Murder.
Right. Exactly. And so, you know, I found the first boss to be kind of frustrating, just because it was a long process to get up to like the top part for the burger.
Yeah.
And you know, there was a lot of platform jumping over spikes, and there's this mustard ketchup shooter that's trying to hit you as well, and that was a little bit difficult because, again, it's all in 3D, and some of the worlds actually go all the way around, so they basically Pac-Man'd out the BurgerTime experience, so you can kind of go from one side to the other side, essentially. But you get that contour, and so like if I'm clear on the left side knocking down a burger, and the mustard gun shoots at me, it's in a point that I can't really see. So if I didn't pay attention to the sound or forgot about it in that split second, then
you're just getting hit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get hit
from nowhere.
And you know, that's kind of the point, is to make it more challenging like that.
Yeah.
I did eventually beat it. One thing though, all of a sudden I was down on easy mode. Like I was dying a couple times fighting that boss, and then all of a sudden I was on easy mode, and I'm like, I don't remember switching myself to easy mode, because with easy mode it doesn't save any of your progress when you're done. Like it doesn't save your scores or
but it doesn't give you a choice to like move down. Like you died a couple times, you want to go down.
Yeah, so I think it automatically did it or
That's
something. That's weird.
Which
was a little frustrating.
Huh.
So because I got a couple game overs on it. I mean, I was having difficulty with it to begin with, and they add a lot more dangers later. There's lots of spikes and like these rocket spike walls that are flying across, and overall I'm having a pretty good time with it. It's
good.
You know, it's pretty simplistic. You're still getting basically what you see in the demo, although there are some really clever levels. Like, you know, there are levels where you have to use like moving elevators to get up and down, and sometimes the moving elevators are the burgers themselves, so it's like you're trying to get back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. It's got some clever level design, some frustrating level design, and I guess overall it's an enjoyable experience.
Cool. Nice. Good to hear.
And the other game I played this week was Fusion Genesis, and I think this sells for 800 points. I don't remember exactly.
Is.
And so this is a top-down twin stick shooter, essentially, kind of space combat-y, and it's got like it's hard to get into the explanation.
Well, I saw the description for it and it said shooter RPG.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what?
Because there's actually a ton of modifications you can make.
Okay.
So basically, you're piloting ships around, and you can join factions, and you can join other factions later or things like that. And so that pits you on different missions, and you can go around and you have these little I can't remember what they're called, but little basically helper ships that will do things, and you can mine asteroids to gain money and ore, and also power up things, and you run around and shoot stuff. But then so with the money that you get, you can purchase upgrades for your ships, you can purchase upgrades for your little helper dude, purchase new helper dudes. There's basically a ton of customization that you can do, and you can purchase new ships and customize those as well and switch between your ships. And so it's got, I think that's essentially what they're
there's just a lot to manage that you can build up on.
Right. And choosing your path with like your factions and all that. I found it's pretty cool. The demo section, or sort of the introductory section, the prelude for the real story, is a little harsh because you don't get to do a ton of combat, and then all of a sudden like all hell breaks loose, and basically this is the thing that's going to set you off on your journey and whatever. And you essentially have to escape, but as you're doing that, you're passing tons of ships. And so, I'm like, oh, sweet, I finally get to do some combat. So then I try to engage things in combat and totally die. And then I'm like, I must have done that wrong. And then die, and then die, and then die. And I'm like, eventually I'm like, maybe I'm just not supposed to fight these guys. So, it was a little bit of a tease for me because I wasn't exactly sure that I wasn't supposed to fight those guys, and I was really eager to get into some combat because there was a little bit, but it was kind of spread out because they were doing their tutorial and all that. It's a pretty nice looking game. There's a lot going on the screen though, and so sometimes that can get a little cluttered when you're in combat. But overall, I thought it was pretty slick. I haven't purchased it. I am keeping it on my hard space just in case. It's something that I would probably like to continue playing.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I actually sidetracked, totally tangent, because we were talking about how much things cost on Xbox. But Xbox rewards, I got another like 200 deposited to my account.
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I've been signed up for that thing since the beginning.
I don't know.
And I've got points sitting there that say what I've earned. It's never, ever deposited anything into my account because it's a piece of shit.
It's done 300 to mine.
I'm glad that you're happy with it. I do their stupid-ass surveys. I do all that shit.
I do it too. I don't know why it doesn't.
I don't know why it's not giving me my points.
I think it's because
it knows you too well.
I'm changing my... It knows how much I love my avatar, and I spend money on my avatar.
But you also get those, like, that monthly update notice thing too, and I don't get that.
I don't know.
It doesn't email me that either. That shows you like how much you played and what you did. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I would love to see that.
It's all Netflix, but or Hulu now. But I'm sorry, there's a little tangent there.
No, it must be nice.
Extra
That's
points
good.
that I got. Just bragging
and
about it.
Speaking of XBLA, while we're on the subject, you did offer me to play some Dungeon Defenders multiplayer.
I did,
because we said we were going to do that. It was one time.
It was a couple.
No, it was one. And
it was more than one.
I would have denied you multiple times, but I only denied you once. So you said like, "Hey, do you want to play any?" And I'm like, "Not at the moment." Because I was playing Skyrim.
Right.
So unfortunately, I didn't get to play any multiplayer of that because we suck. But hopefully,
I think it's more you.
I think so.
I think that's where the thing
can't we just all, as a team, take this as a team? Can we? Why do we have
I don't have the game.
Why do we have to stand apart? Okay, your dicks.
We are.
So maybe next time.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully.
Maybe sometime in 2013 when you get tired and when you
might be. I won't be talking to you guys at that point.
Hours in Skyrim done.
So that's all my XBLA.
Oh,
Oops.
Skyrim.
Sorry.
Kick off some demos?
Yeah,
Sure.
You got one, right?
I played one. This is a game that I've thanks for me playing it, because I was like, I want to try this game out.
Thanks for me playing.
The thing about it was, and I'm glad I did, because I brought it up at the beginning of the show, and you're saying that the game is already out. Well,
it is.
And I remember seeing it after you guys had mentioned it, but it's the Disney Universe demo. It popped up up on the marketplace or whatever, and I've been checking out the game because it looks any kind of Disney game,
right?
I want to take a look at, and just by the cover alone was pretty neat, because there's all these little weird blob guys wearing Disney costumes. I don't know the story, because it really doesn't go into that in the demo, like the story behind these characters. But you get to go to all these different worlds, and like even Tron is like listed as one of the worlds. You know,
so they're all Disney themed worlds.
Yep.
Because I haven't looked at anything on this either.
Yep, and the Pixar is even included in it too. So there's Monsters Inc. and things like that. So like the first one that they have on the demo is a Pirates theme one.
Okay.
And really the thing about it is you're this little character and you're moving. You got to get kind of like solve these puzzles and take on these little evil guys that are running around, and they're cool little evil things wearing pirate hats. They probably wear other things on other levels, but and then you have to like move fire over to burn this crate down to get to a cannon. So then you move the cannon over, and you shoot down this thing to get to that. And it's very Lego-esque in that sense.
Okay, sure.
It has that feel. You're not building things, but you have to use things to get get otherwise. Yeah. But they only had
the objectives.
Yeah, that's a good word. But
he made it up.
I thought
it.
I thought the graphics were good. The only problem I have, it's like a little bit of a, not a top down, but there's kind of, it's the camera angle thing. But they did a really good job if they put this like blue, because it's a multiplayer game, so they put this blue disc underneath you so you can actually see where you're walking, because there's sometimes I would fall off an edge, and I'm like, oh, I can just pay attention to that thing. Oh, that's where I'm at.
Gotcha.
So I had a lot of fun with that. I thought it was really neat. There's like stars in the levels, so like you want to try to get those. They're like little secrets, and I might have to either hopefully rent this one, or maybe if they drop the price. It looked really fun, and
cool.
All the different screenshots that they showed after the demo looked really interesting, like Simba and like
I like
all
the character
the whole
design.
Disney stuff.
I'm a big Disney nerd too, so I know it's hard for people to believe, but I am. And
it's
so
the one soft side you have.
True. Well, I like
If
Disney
had a hard
Disney
side.
fanfic porn. Is what I'm into. Is
That's
that
right.
Bad?
That's a good point.
That is terrible.
Terrible. No, but in all seriousness,
I mean, Hanna-Barbera, that's fine. I understand.
Those are more adult.
Exactly, I understand.
Thundar the
that.
Barbarian.
Yo, yeah.
Miguel the Gorilla,
Flintstones.
All in
Hello.
one story.
all doing it.
I think we may have tangented here.
Sex style.
Oh, sex.
Anyway,
style.
so I love the character design.
Yeah.
And I love
From a Disney. This is great. We're back.
I'm
to
going
the
back.
Disney game. Okay.
I'm trying to backtrack.
Okay.
So I really like the look of all those, like
Yeah.
the character costumes and things like that you can use in the game. So I wanted to see more about it, but I haven't had the opportunity to check it out. So I should look at the demo.
The
maybe.
demo's a little small.
Just to get an idea of how it plays.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys like those Lego games, I think it's right up there with that.
Cool.
Just you don't collect so many little things. So.
Oh, Lego Harry Potter's and the second one came out of that too, and I haven't gotten that yet either. Damn it!
Neither did I.
Damn it! It's too much stuff.
You got the title of this show is Super Pro Fails.
Well, every show.
Super Pro's first world problems.
First world Skyrim problems. That's what I worked that out to. Do we have any other demos? Is that it?
That's what I got.
All right. On to disc. We're steamrolling this show.
We haven't quite hit our
Until we
speed
hit a
bump yet.
wall.
Yeah. So let me turn the clock back again with a little Batman Arkham City. I did get a chance to finish out the story, and I completed all the Riddler challenges and basically did everything in the city that I could do.
Hold on.
That's awesome.
I need to sink this in a second. You completed all the Riddler?
All
challenges?
400.
Oh, my God.
Hey!
Isn't it like 440?
Something like that. I don't
Jesus Christ.
He wasn't counting.
That's crazy.
Well, 40
though.
of them are Catwoman's, I think.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and some of them were really challenging, especially because I forgot like the game doesn't remind you that you can zoom in, like if you click in the right stick.
Yeah.
And zooming in allows you to use like the explosive gel singularly.
Okay.
So there were a couple challenges that I was really hitting the wall on, and until I figured that out by accident, just by mashing all the buttons in frustration.
So can I ask you a question that made me mad while I was playing it? And this is probably a spoiler, and I don't give a shit at this point because it's about me. A couple of those Riddler like death trap rooms I went into, and I couldn't figure out what the hell I was.
You probably don't have
do.
the weapon yet.
So I went into one that like after he counted down, and then like the floor electrocuted me.
Yeah.
So what were you supposed to do in that
line
room?
launcher, and then keep line launchering until the floor stops electrifying.
Wow, that's annoying. It was just a tiny room. Is that?
Yeah. So you have to like.
That's annoying.
Like really quickly.
Okay,
but fun.
Thanks for telling me because now I'm glad that I didn't even bother with it. I died twice, and I'm like, I'm out of here.
I got hit by that steam.
But I would never figured it out.
Sewers.
Oh,
because I didn't have the frost grenades yet.
Yeah, I didn't get that for a long time, and I didn't know what to do.
I died in all the death trap rooms because I went in too early.
I just wanted to know,
and then I forgot where they were at after that.
For my own,
yeah, you can mark that stuff.
I know.
I did like how you could mark all those. I think you guys talked about that when you first.
That was that was a nice addition.
Yeah, marking those on the map. That
especially
was
when there's so many.
Right.
In my opinion, maybe too many. But you got them all. So.
Well, and plus, a lot of that was because I was Riddler thug hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout a lot of Gotham.
So did you 1,000 the game then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know what else is required. So
I still have to play New Game Plus, and
okay.
I have a bajillion Riddler challenges left to do.
Okay,
so
the actual challenges.
The challenge rooms, yes, is what I've been working my way through, and I've been improving some.
Yeah.
And so, I've got some nice scores on. I got through all the Batman ones for just the regular challenge rooms.
Nice.
For the built-in ones. So all of the combat and all of the Predator ones. The Predator ones have changed a little bit, if I remember correctly. I never went back, because I don't do fact-checking. I never went back to the first one. But if I remember correctly, with the first one, you just kind of had to eliminate the guys in a certain amount of time. Does that sound familiar? I
don't remember because I avoided because they pissed me off, so I didn't really do much with them.
Okay,
I was with Jeremy on that.
Because with this one, there's no time limit. You can take as long as you want, but you have to basically complete 3 different challenges, which usually involve taking down guys in a particular way.
Okay,
and some of them can be damn hard. Especially when you get to the extreme rooms and you get an entire room of nothing but armored guys, so you can't do silent takedowns on them whatsoever. And stuff like batarangs don't really work on them, and some of them are really quite hard. Combat wise, I got pretty good. And now I'm working my way through Catwoman, and Catwoman is much more difficult in the combat challenges.
That's what I've been hearing from other people,
I like
other players.
Well, one thing is that there is a different feel for it. With Batman, it's got more of kind of a fluid movement between everybody.
Yeah.
But Catwoman is a little more staccato, where it's like bam, 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 where you're kind of jumping around a lot. And it takes a little while for me to get into that rhythm, especially after playing all those Batman rooms. But the big difference between Catwoman and Batman is the fact that Catwoman does not have a disarm move.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Batman has that one where he'll break weapons, which is fucking fantastic because fuck the shields.
I know.
The shields are just walking walls because they don't really do a lot of damage to you. It's not even like they just walk up and go bump,
right?
Or you accidentally go flying at them when you meant to go to somebody else. Anyway, so Batman can break those things in half. He can break the stun sticks and all that. Catwoman, no. And if you haven't played the challenge rooms yet, they have the combat ones have 4 rounds. And basically, any weapons that an earlier round had are still lying on the floor, so other fuckers can pick them up in a later round. So you get to these round 4s, especially with extreme ones, and there's 2 guys running around with car doors, and 2 guys running around with stun sticks, and you have 2 titans to deal with, and a one-armed guy swinging a sickle at you.
Jeez.
And Catwoman does her best, but man, that gets really, really hard. But when she's flying, man, I got like over 100,000 points on one room that I needed to get like
that's awesome
48 or something like that.
That's cool.
So, it works its way up. But let me say this this is a personal shout out here to all the folks who worked on the challenge rooms and designed the camera for it. Fuck you fuckers. fuck you all. I hope you die.
That hope
that
they
fucking
die.
camera.
Whoa.
You know.
You hope they die.
I'm pretty
you
sure.
Want to take back
I'm pretty
that.
sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure I want to do that.
Angry Craig. I love Angry Craig.
I'm pretty sure that the reason these are Riddler challenges is because Riddler is standing behind there with the camera, just whipping that shit around.
Oh,
He's got it on a string.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a yo-yo.
Exactly. Because the fucking thing won't sit still. And if you try to control it to fight it, then you're just fighting it. It's like, no, I'm going to go over here, motherfucker. And I'm like, no, you're going to go over here. And so it's like, because beatdowns are very useful in a lot of the challenge rooms, especially if there's armored guys or whatever. If you want to get a good score, having a beatdown in there at one point is great because you can beat down, and if somebody comes up behind you, you can still counter and then come back in and continue the beatdown, and it gets that combo way up in there, and then you do like some sort of room sweeping move or whatever, and that gets you huge points. And but the problem is, I go into a goddamn beatdown, and then all of a sudden the camera's like, let's go look at it from this angle. And so it starts spinning like 480 degrees.
Wow.
And so all of a sudden my directions are changing. So I'm trying to do a beatdown, and then all of a sudden, because I can't keep up with the camera, now I'm punching some other dude.
Yeah, it's a really big problem when you have to push also in the same direction that you want to like attack.
Right.
Or like, it's not an automatic kind of thing where it's attacking the person closest to you. You're directing it.
Right.
That's a problem.
And I was trying to conceptualize just what is causing all of this, and I think they programmed the camera to kind of respond to several things. One is walls, and the problem is a lot of these challenge rooms are kind of tiny.
See, that's what I had a problem with in Arkham City was tiny spots in the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think they also respond to density of like enemies. Like if there's a bunch of guys standing under you, it's going to flip around, probably with the good intentions of showing you potential attackers or whatever. But the problem is that it just continually fucks up your combo, which not only ruins your ability to get a score, but also leads to you getting the shit beat out of you because, that's when you go punch a shield accidentally or, run into a stun guy or it actually spins you around and conceals the dude who's throwing a chair at you. Because you were looking at him on purpose, but then the camera decided that you should look over here instead. So the camera, oh my God, it is really, really aggravating. And I can probably attribute at least 80% of my losses to camera spinning around at a random point.
Yeah.
There, I got
that
out.
Better?
Yes, I do.
That's why we do the show.
Yeah, I do apologize to the people who programmed it, but you guys fucking suck.
I don't wish their death.
I don't wish you your death, but
just family members.
I would like to punch you in the balls.
And you hope that
or the ovaries, depending on your gender.
You hope they suffer loss,
right?
Just not their own personal death.
Right. That's a little extreme. I admit it.
Maybe your house can just burn down.
They should lose their job.
Lose their job.
Camera.
This is so mean.
So frustrating.
That was my one nitpick with the game. I found that, and I didn't.
Where you find that in the regular game?
Yeah, in the regular game, especially like you'd get into that alleyway, and it'd be a group of people, and you would be just punching, and next thing you know, it just would turn, and sometimes you'd get a tear because it'd be like you're actually behind the wall now, and it's just I just keep hitting, going, I hope I'm hitting somebody. And then
I didn't experience any of that behind the wall stuff, thankfully, but that would be rough.
Well, it would like turn, but you'd see that tear like from it turning because it would be moving to a different angle, and I was just it always messed with me. But I never did the challenges. I didn't do it in the first one either. So,
but you're still making your way through them.
I am.
Okay.
Because I'm working on that stuff, and it can be fun when the camera's not fucking with you.
Yes.
Actually, and when you get a huge amount of points and you just owned 4 rounds of dudes, that's a pretty great feeling, actually. And I'm going to go into New Game Plus, where they don't have things like the little notification that they're attacking you and all of that, and so
all of it'll pay off.
It's great. It's good combat training. I mean, I've gained so much ability on how to use the moves properly and sort of string things together. I do want to say this about Catwoman. She's much more difficult with combat because she doesn't have that particular move. But man, I love her gadgets. She has much fewer gadgets. But that's actually kind of okay because then there are fewer things for me to remember how to do. But she's got these caltrops that she throws on the ground.
Those are awesome.
Which is great because it can stop a whole slew of guys from coming to attack you while you want to attack somebody else. And she's also got the bolos and taking people down with that. And so her gadgets I find much more effective than I have with Batman or Robin. I've only played a couple rooms with Robin, so I don't have a lot of experience with that. And I mostly play him as Red Robin, and I mostly play Catwoman as animated series Catwoman. Which you can also play through the regular levels if you access them from outside. So that's
awesome. It looked awesome. When I switched over, I was like, oh. I didn't like the long Halloween one at all. So.
I didn't care for that.
It's a lot. So we've all finished Batman, so hopefully maybe, I know some other people were asking
possibly.
Online. Nice. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, we'll be doing.
We could be
a Batman Arkham City private chat.
Yeah,
which we did one for Arkham Asylum, but I think it was just me and you. I think it was before Sean.
No,
were you in?
I did that one. It was.
Oh yeah, you
it was
were.
Deep Space.
Now.
It was
Dead Space.
Dead Space. Deep Space. Deep Space 1.
Deep Space 9. When we did that private
Dead
chat
Space
about
3.
the awesome Deep Space 9 show.
Hey, I like that show.
Okay.
Oh man,
it'll be very private chat for you.
It would
by yourself. So hopefully we can look at maybe doing that in a couple weeks here and do a private chat for those that are interested. And if you're not interested, then whatever.
Just brush it off.
It'd be maybe more Craig yelling, and who doesn't want that? So
my voice kind of hurts.
So stay tuned.
It's not used to it. It's very delicate.
Should I start in with some Saints Row?
If you want to,
because you guys haven't played any.
I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I do want to hear about it too.
This is Saints Row the Third, and I've been hearing, or I've been reading, or I've been listening.
Otherwise known as Saints Row Esquire.
Yeah, but it's they're GTA's GTA, and like I've seen that promoted as such, and I believe that if my guy in GTA was playing GTA and GTA, this would be the game that he's playing because it's pretty crazy. I'm about 10 hours in, about 10% completed. I'll tell you right now, I didn't even start my first mission until 8 hours.
What?
8 hours.
What?
8 hours after I started the game.
That's awesome.
I did not start a mission. What I did,
I think that's great.
What I did was I get my character set up, and she's awesome. She's a big girl. She's awesome. And then I start stealing cars. I mean, I got right into the Grand Theft mentality, and then I started buying stuff.
You're living out your Gone in 60 Seconds dream.
A little bit, yeah. But the other part too was like, because I had to drive around the city because it was all open. Like all of it was open.
So nothing's locked at the beginning?
Not that I've come across yet. But I just was tooling around. Then I started finding out, oh wait, other gangs see me. So this has got a crackdown vibe.
That's what I was
so when
say,
you go into different gangs, that they see you, you get little, like how you used to get stars in Grand Theft. Well, you get stars, but they're gang stars. Then so they'll hunt you down unless you lose it. But then you also have to worry about the police because the police are the same way. Because I'll set this out: the Saints are this multi-million-dollar gang that's popular, that has their own TV shows and clothing lines, and Planet Hollywood, but it's like Planet Sane or something like that. And you can buy.
They're bad people.
But they're bad. Yeah, they're bad people. The minute you start off and it's over the top action at the very beginning because you rob this bank, but you get a helicopter to pull the safe out, the vault. I mean, but there's a spoiler, but it's right at the very beginning of the game. But a lot of fun, and then I got into the car. Because your save menus, it's a smartphone, so you have all your little apps types of things, which I thought was really neat. It's really easy to maneuver through. The map's really good. The GPS on it's excellent. But what I got into was the whole customization of just the characters alone.
Yeah,
is stupid, and that's what took I swear probably about 45 minutes to an hour for me.
So you should have done that initiation station, and you would have been ready to go.
Well, the problem with that is I do have a couple of characters in there, but I can't log on.
Oh,
I don't have a computer at home.
You would have to connect.
Yeah. I could log on with my phone, but it takes too long. So, my character I made was like the zombie chick. Yeah. But anyway, and she moaned a lot. She's like, mwah, mwah. But there's so there's all the you have your regular missions, but then you have car thefts where you have to steal cars for this guy. And those are pretty fun. Then there's also assassinations. I haven't done any of those. And then there's other challenges, which are, I'm assuming, off the top, because they also have this in-game thing that you find. It's Professor Ginky's Super Ethical Reality Climax. And it's this, you kill all these people, and you can get points by shooting down these little signs, except for the panda. And it's all, Japanese. Super fun time. And that is over the top, but you can get some good points that way. There's like these tank missions that are separate throughout and you can just drive around. That's how you can get more money that way. And then you can buy properties, and then you buy clothing stores, it's everything that I liked about the Grand Theft Auto games, but it's so dumbed down that you can just do it and spend 10 hours before actually starting a mission. And I had this like stupid...
It's like all the crazy ass over the top fun of GTA without the boring ass story.
Yeah, exactly. and that's the other thing too.
Without any lessons.
That there is like a story to it, but I don't care because what they want to do is like because
so ridiculous.
They've lost their light. They've sold out as gangsters that other gangs have moved into town. So now you have to kind of own them. And but like the very beginning, you start off in this little shack. And I was like, well, this is stupid. If we're gangsters, man. And then that was the first mission. And I'm like, so like 8 hours in, I could have had this awesome place with like a big garage and a helipad and all that stuff. But no.
You want to go make a name for yourself outside of the norm.
Yes.
and all you had to do was follow the story.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean.
The one thing I really liked about it is all the cutscenes. Awesome, I did it. The cutscenes.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Sweet. But the character is there. I think that's really neat. She's in the character that I created is in those scenes.
Right.
The voice I picked is in those scenes. I think that is really, really neat. It's not like the very beginning you're wearing a costume essentially, and you wear it through the whole time, and everybody else takes the costume off. I'm like, if every time I'm in a cut scene, they're gonna have something over my face
just
or something
generic.
Yeah. But then that wasn't the case at all, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
It's not like Arkham City where your character reverts to the basic one in cutscenes.
Yeah,
that's good.
And then like the music, they have a really good like selection of music. They have like just your regular hip hop stations to your classical, I'm saying classical,
and it's all
like
licensed
Bach
music, right?
Yeah, and so like that's pretty cool when you get in like a gangster's car and it's just Bach, overture.
That was one of my favorite things in the original GTA 3.
Yeah,
and I had that classical station. Yeah. And you just put that on, and you're like gunning down people, and they're playing like fucking classical music.
Yeah, but
love that.
I love hearing you guys try to think of a classical song that you can use to reference.
How would I know?
It's
I wouldn't even be able to pronounce half of the names, probably.
It's like Overture 17 of the third square.
I could have said Overture 17, and you guys would have been like, yes.
Oh, very good.
I love 16's a little better.
But then there's Run DMC, there's like Sleigh Bells, there's Corrupt, there's Bonnie Tyler, I Need a Hero.
You do.
And when you're on a motorcycle and you're flying headstrong into a group of people, I Need a Hero is a good song to play. And then the Joe Bean Esposito song from Karate Kid, the original.
Yes.
The
OG.
I'm saying original, not that Smith stuff, not the Smith joint. But yeah, the Crackdown vibe really brought me into it. You don't get super crazy powerful and jump buildings, but you can kill people. And then, and I like the whole gang territory thing. So it's like I started to buy out business and trying to get like my, props there. And then now I'm taking out the gangs and, I'm clearing the streets. And then there's also another thing too, is like I always liked it in Grand Theft is that you could I'm gonna always compare it to Grand Theft because it's
just by nature. I don't think it's a problem.
When you can jump on people on bikes, well, this you can totally Bo Duke people by. I'll run down the street at a car, and then I can steal their car by diving into the window and then kicking them out. And they call it the Bo Duke or something like that. And I was like, I do that all the time.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't matter what size of truck where I'm at. She just flies in there, and it's great. A lot of fun. Yeah, I dig it.
And there's multiplayer, right?
I believe so. I don't know. I really don't know.
I think there's multiplayer where you can run around with like other people.
He's been playing 8 hours of side missions,
and I don't know.
Jeremy.
I don't know how it works as far as like if it's in the regular campaign or if it's like special. Like if it was in GTA when you just go in, you get together and basically just fuck around.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it operates because I haven't looked into it, but it sounds like it'd probably be fun to get a bunch of people together.
In this world that they live in,
there's
like furries like cruising around in like golf carts. And of course, that's me. I see that. I have to turn around immediately and take that furry out.
End it.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? Get back here. You're dead. But yeah, like
maybe they were a sports mascot on their way to a game.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
What a tragedy.
But I enjoy it. Another thing I like was they have like all the cool things that I wish that other games like this had. The big soapbox games would have, like when you're out in the water. Sandbox, soapbox.
Well,
you got it.
There are soapbox games too.
Yeah, but it's
the ones who pontificate.
Exactly.
That's a big word.
I played a couple of those where I'm like rolling my eyes, like, really? You're not this important.
But you know, sandbox games and like you'll be out in the water and you can just hit Y and it takes you to shore. You don't have to swim to shore. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
And there's like little things that they've added into the game that
it's like, yeah, you had your fun. See, that's the other thing. That's a brilliant inclusion because you would have your fun and do a bunch of shit in Grand Theft, and your like plane would explode, and you'd land in the water, and you'd be like, "Well, that was fun, but now I got to fucking swim all the way to the fucking shore.
A long way.
I just wanted to fuck around." And now they're like, "You done fucking around? Start back again."
Yeah,
here you go.
I mean,
can we put you in something? Can we get you something? That's great.
It's a pretty.
Here's a bazooka. Have you tried that?
Oh, that's fun. There's a lot of fun weapons involved because they've even got a drone ship that you can fly around and just tear up. But
nice,
a lot of fun. And the missions are fun. It took me a while to get into them, but that was because there's a lot of stuff going on.
You were too distracted by the shiny.
I was like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, and it is. It's very. I think I had a little problems with like just a little like kind of just lagging, but there was a lot of stuff going on, so maybe that was the case. But
were you playing off your hard drive or off disk?
I actually put it on my hard drive. This one,
drive.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a feeling that it was going to be really big.
It's going to be running for a while too.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah. And it was customizing cars. Like that's there too, and all the things that I love about Grand Theft, and then there's a lot of over the top other stuff that's involved, and this world that these people live in is nuts.
It's a terrible world.
It is, and I don't remember having fun with any other Saints Row games that I played.
Did you play the others?
I played the first one, I believe, and I did not care for it. It was bad graphics, I think.
Yeah, I know.
If I remember
I know
right.
a lot of people like 2 a lot. I never even got around to playing any of them. So
me either.
But I do have a definite interest in checking out 3 for sure.
Just for the beginning alone is fun. 'Cause it's like got a Star Wars intro, kinda.
I will check it out.
It's interesting. I had a lot of fun with it. Obviously, since I played a whole day, and it disappeared. The day disappeared from me. It was like one time it was like noon, and then it was 6.
I did that like for a weekend.
Well, that happened
last weekend.
That happened to me the other night with Skyrim too.
All right. How about some Goldeneye?
Yeah, that
should we talk about some Goldeneye 007 Reloaded?
Something like that.
James Bond.
Odd job.
Redo. Redux.
It's the revamp of the redo of the original game.
That is true. It's like third times removed.
Because they made, the original GoldenEye was for the N64. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then on the Wii, they released GoldenEye
last year,
Reloaded. Yeah, and so then this is...
And now this is the cleaned up next-gen version of the Wii version.
Exactly.
With some stuff thrown in.
So I played the original GoldenEye, and it's been many, many years, but they've done a lot to change the story.
They've done a lot, yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of the basic elements still there. Like, I think the core GoldenEye concept is still there, and, Onatop is still in there, although she's completely recast.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of what I like about it. I like that it's like a familiar thing, and there's familiar settings, but it's so different.
Yeah,
like it is. And that's why I was saying when I played it, it was like such a mind fuck for me, where I was like, I know this, but it's different.
Yeah,
it's like an alternate reality version.
Because the story. Oh, go ahead.
So it's just like they would do just redid the movie, but it was a game form essentially.
Kind of. I mean, the plot plays out a lot differently from what I remember.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of difference
in the story structure,
in the progression. But there's some of the locales stay the same.
The main beats are the same.
Yeah.
But it's updated,
and the vents are still there. Oh boy, are the vents still there?
You do crawl through many events. So, have you been liking it?
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Have you done anything other than the campaign at this point?
I have not.
Because there's multiplayer.
And those challenge things.
Yeah, they have the
MI6
ops. Special ops things, which are challenge.
I haven't had a chance to do that. I've been trying to get through the story.
It's really...
And I've been playing that on 007, mode or whatever.
Is that the hardest?
Difficult. No, that would be classic 007.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So where you have to use body armor, your health doesn't regenerate at all.
Old style.
Yeah. So 007's not too bad. I do die a lot, but usually it's when I do something stupid.
I think it's a decent looking game. Like it looks really good. It's not going to be on the level of your Modern Warfare 3s or Battlefields, but
definitely not.
As far as and so maybe it's a bad time right now with those other games being out for a shooter.
Yeah. I mean, when you shoot stuff in the background, it stays pretty flat. You don't affect a lot of different things in the background when you shoot it.
It's still definitely on par.
Yeah.
It's doing okay.
Some of the close-ups of like other characters had pretty good animation for their faces.
Cool.
I noticed, and this isn't a huge deal, but I know it is for some people. I noticed like the achievements are really stingy. You don't get many achievements at all. And I won't talk about the odd number one because I already complained about that last episode. But so that's still there. But it seems like there wasn't a lot of achievements.
That's why I'm playing on 007 level, because you have to play at least on 007 level in order to get the level ones.
See, that's bullshit. Why? Because I was playing on like not the easy level, but the normal. Yeah. Why do I got to up it to hard to like get my achievements? Maybe that's been my problem. Challenge.
I
just want to play. Give me a reward for playing.
They are letting you play.
No, I want a reward for playing.
Exactly.
Give me something.
Here's your 2 points.
Yeah.
2 points. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, I mean, you're playing through still. I want to still finish out the game. I haven't finished the game proper. And I do want to check out multiplayer because I loved GoldenEye back in the day. So I don't know how it's holding up.
It does still have the local split screen multiplayer from what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
but just to warn you, those achievements all say public match. So
no hot job.
No hot job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. We'll see how much I get into it because I've also got the Call of Duty stuff to do, which probably is going to take some precedence. For me,
I do get annoyed by the smartphone because you have to. I like that. Basically, they dumbed down a lot of the side mission stuff for you. So whenever you're near a side mission thing, like there'll be an icon, either this flashing phone or like this flashing eye.
They might as well just give it to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, you do still have to kind of search for things. Sometimes things are hidden. But when you are trying to use the camera, because I was in this club and I had to use this app on my phone to facially recognize the guy I was trying to meet. And
so Bond's just walking around with his phone,
basically just walking around with it in front of his face. But he moves so slow when he's got the phone out. It's like he's afraid of dropping it or something. It's like, okay, all right. It's like phone. Ridiculously slow.
He doesn't have a screen protector on it, or like a cover. So you got to understand.
Well, the button that's where he takes the pictures close to the one where it shoots a missile. So he's like,
that is risky.
It's true.
He's got to stop and think about it for a half second. Okay.
Is it Q that does all his like gadgets and stuff?
Yeah.
So maybe Q yelled at him or something like don't destroy this thing. It's possible.
I got pictures of my dog on it.
Sensitive material.
Yeah, but it's been pretty fun. I mean, it's not like blowing me away or anything like that, but it's a pretty decent game.
Cool. Well, I want to finish it out too sometime.
No,
but I've been distracted with a couple things. One of them being Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Which Sean, you played
Esquire.
as well. You finished. I haven't finished it yet. Even
I finished it.
Okay. The campaign part.
Yeah.
I maxed out my multiplayer.
character. I haven't even started campaign. I was all multiplayer, man. I was like, "You're dead, motherfucker!" And I was killing these guys.
No scope.
I was like, "No scope, man! I'll kill you, man!" Drop point. I don't even know.
Headshot.
You're just like saying
why? I don't know. What is it?
Drop point.
I don't. What's it? Drop point.
Drop point.
Can
What?
you get like care packages?
I think you can.
Sweet. I saw like an ad that had like
care packages. Yeah, with
something
letters
about
from home.
Yeah.
Cookies.
And then you just feel better.
No, don't you call in a care package? Like isn't that the Call of Duty games? I am so bad when it comes to these.
You can call in stuff. Well, I know
multiplayer wise.
I know, so am I, because I don't usually get around to it. However, I will say this:
Oh man, I know Black Ops they did have
Activision did provide us with a review copy, and they actually sent us the hardened edition.
Nice.
Which a lot of people thought that was funny online because they know us.
Yeah.
And so to think that we're
hard
having to
ass.
experience that is funny.
This is the year of the.
But I'm telling you, I'm gonna try and make a commitment to playing some multiplayer on the reg.
Oh really?
I am. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go with the elite thing that came with it, and I'm gonna actually get involved in it. I'm going to try to. So I'm going to make that effort, and maybe it'll be a fun weekly blog event for me where I can give some updates on how I'm going with my.
Just do little video things of
modern warfare.
you trying to play. It'll be like a 5-second clip of you running into a room, and then a grenade explodes in your face,
and it's one I threw.
Yes, you throw it in there first, and then you run in.
I highly recommend not playing Saints Row and then playing Call of Duty or vice versa, because I threw so many grenades in Call of Duty. We were sneaking up on a place, and I was like, "Oh, switch weapon! Oh shit!" And then he's like, "Oh, we've been outed." I'm like, "Thanks." That was my fault.
You know what? I'll use that elite membership and go in and play the multiplayer just to troll people. That's all I'll do.
How did I know that's where you were going?
Of course.
Isn't that what elite is?
Yes. I am elite.
No.
So regardless of that, though, because I haven't gotten to the multiplayer because unfortunately we didn't get it until a little later after the release date.
Yeah.
So that synced up with Skyrim, which meant that not much was going to happen because I'm a baby. And so, but I've played most of the campaign at this point. It's kind of awesome.
I think it's fantastic.
It is.
And I'm going to compare it a little bit because that's what I do, compare things. But Bulletstorm, and not dialogue wise, but just by the way,
this is a surprising comparison.
The way that it's set up, because in Bulletstorm they have those little sections of just kill zones, or whatever they're called. I think that's what they were called, something like that. But they have those little parts, and then they actually have them in the a side mission or challenge stage, and it's just those little sections, and that's what this feels like to me. Is like those they're not.
So it's kind of parceled out a little.
Yeah,
bit more.
they're not long by any means, and of course, if I kicked up the difficulty, I'm playing at normal right now.
Yeah.
But if I kicked it up, they'd become long and tedious, and I'd hate it.
Well,
but other than that, I thought they were really well paced and just moved really well, and
that's kind of how
and the story jumps back and forth.
And you didn't play
too.
Modern Warfare 2, right?
No, I just
remember,
played the first one.
I remember talking about that it was 2 years ago now, right? And
Jesus, was it really?
Yeah, because I think Black Ops was last year, so Modern Warfare 2 was 2 years ago. I know, right?
I like Black Ops.
Wasn't it? Or was it last? I don't know. Regardless.
I don't think there was a huge amount of time between Black Ops.
Okay. It was stage to stage, though, was just set piece to set piece. And I felt like I was just kind of going through the motions and moving for the next big set piece. This feels the same way, but for some reason I felt like I was enjoying it this time around more than I was on 2, and I don't know what the difference is.
Engaging you more.
Maybe, I don't know. There's some crazy shit going down on this one.
They
too.
switch it up too, which I like, where it's not just you shooting, and then all of a sudden you'll be like manning a gun that's on a plane, in the sky.
Maybe I felt like because
or manning drones.
In modern,
and it switches it up, and I thought that was a really nice touch. It's not just constant shoot, right. And
I think that is a strong point, because in Modern Warfare 1 and 2, I don't remember levels where you did multiple things in one level.
Yeah.
It was like you had a whole level where you were on the AC-130, but this one you're on the AC-130 and you shoot a bunch of stuff, and then the next one you shoot it, like the camera goes down with you, and all of a sudden you're in the place of the guy that's on the ground.
Yeah.
And it switches back a couple times in that same level, and that was awesome.
I thought that was done really well. And just the story, it's over the top, World War III. And it's pretty crazy.
And it is World War at this point.
And it is.
It's everywhere.
And that's the other thing, too, that there's this... and then, it's a believable type story in a way.
It's not believable,
but in a small sense, because... It's just the way that the things are handled, but just the scope, just the feel. I thought the graphics are just amazing.
Yeah, and I didn't have any. I mean, it's operating at 60 frames per second, and it never drops for anything I've had.
I never had a problem.
Really tight, and I do have a problem though when you were talking about some of those areas where we go through the one area to the next. I still have a problem with the endless spawning of characters or enemies until you move forward. I hate that still.
Yeah.
Where they're just all running out, and they'll keep running out until you move forward, because it's almost impossible to move forward without getting hit, and sometimes it's impossible to move forward without getting killed.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to take everybody out, but they keep regenerating and coming out from more areas. And so you have to just run up there, get hit a bunch of times, and hopefully just survive and get down.
Yeah.
Distraction.
It bothers me, and sometimes the AI was having some problems with the AI like completely ignoring everybody around me, so they weren't getting distracted by people. They were just basically running through them to get to me and shoot me.
That
was kind of annoying.
2 or 3 different parts, and this is what I noticed later on the stages. But I've always had this problem with the Call of Duty games. Is just the sense of I don't know what I'm doing all of a sudden,
right?
And it's that chaos that kicks in, which is part of the gameplay.
Right, that's part of the experience.
But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, well, where the fuck am I going? Where am I supposed to jump? I'm jumping. And I would go to the edge of this, I jump, die. And it was like an icon, and I just had to turn around. But at that time, I'm like, just say, you're right, you're 6. Because they do that throughout the game. They say enemy on your 12, enemy on your 6, enemy on your 3. And I'm like, okay, I know that.
Right.
But
my other problem with that too is that some of the voice levels are really low when they get to some of those elements. And so they have everything on the screen, but it's not like you can read it while you're also trying to shoot things.
Yeah.
But I could barely hear what they were saying over the gunfire and everything else exploding. And you had like 3 guys yelling and talking.
Yeah.
And so, it feeds into stuff that, Craig, you've said before about it, like where there's just so much chaos.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I can understand it in those situations.
It gives a realistic experience, but that experience is not exactly something pleasant.
Yeah. And if you're supposed to be paying attention to what the guys are telling you, it makes it a little difficult to know what to do next.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I didn't hear a word you just said, dude. So I guess I'll just follow this white arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
that's not realistic.
But that was where I ran into one part because I kept going into this section and I was going this other way because I was trying to avoid the oncoming, but I should have just been following my guy, and I was following the other troops, and that was where I was running. And then I noticed like they would run by other characters, so I wouldn't shoot at them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because you're overseas, so you're with friendlies, but they're wearing different uniforms. So you have 3 different uniforms going on, and they would run by. Well, no, they were just running by. AIs were running by each other. What's up, man? See you kill that guy. And I'm getting shot at. Like, why did you just shoot him for me? Or just act like you were going to shoot him.
They gave each other like a secret AI wink. Like they're like, we're buddies.
He's yours.
I can't touch you, man, but this guy,
he should be ahead of me. I don't know why I'm ahead of him, but that's the guy controlling it.
It's his fault. We talked about ridiculous levels. There was one in particular that was like, it was like 3 levels in or whatever, and that was the one that's on the plane.
Yeah.
That turbulence. And it is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of stuff where you're just getting slammed around the plane. It's like losing control. And there's just the presentation value in that level is amazing. There's a lot of other things like that where it's like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's keeping me, driven on playing it for sure. Because it's just like, where is it going to go next? Because it just gets more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
And not the same kind of ridiculous that I had with 2. I don't know why I'm so conflicted about this, because there were some issues I had with 2, where it was almost too over the top, and maybe it's just my mentality at the moment, because jumping into that was just dumb fun, and I was all for it.
Yeah.
Story-wise, I still have a problem grasping the concept of the story. I've got like a general idea of what's going on, because they are continuing the story from Modern Warfare 1, 2.
Yeah. Well, I noticed some
one.
things from 1, and then I was like, because I don't remember 2, because they were talking about things from 2 that I heard about just either reading online or what we talked about
like
on
with
the show.
Airport stuff.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, okay, I know where I'm at now, because I was like, shit, I didn't play 2. But there was characters I saw from 1. I'm like, I know these people, and...
So I have like a high level, concept. I know what we're doing on a high level basis, but when you like boil it down to what characters are doing what and what's actually happening, I'm like, whatever. I don't even know. And I also have the problem when you jump from character to character, because I have a hard time figuring out what's going on when I'm playing 4 different guys. And half of them have accents, and I can't understand what half of them are saying.
Yeah, the Delta Force group was a little bit, that was the one where you're like in the jungles and in the bush, and like, and then they all have heavy accents, and it's like they're
all
yelling
the disavowed guys.
Yeah.
It's
like Soap and all those guys.
I'm like, well, I don't know what anybody's saying.
Yeah, Yuri and Yolbig.
I guess I'll just keep moving forward.
Yeah,
following that white line.
I'm just glad I didn't have to kick any tubs of napalm down into a. I'm glad I had to do none of that. I would have been there for hours. But in a whole, it was a lot of fun, over the top, crazy. The New York stuff was awesome.
They had another one of their like quote unquote controversial scenes that you had to choose at the beginning if you wanted to see it or not.
Yeah, I don't know which one that was. because I didn't really have a controversy with any of them.
In the last game, it was the one in the airport,
which makes sense.
Which I had a problem with in some levels. This one was it involves like a video camera and like when a family.
Oh yeah.
So that part would have been skipped.
Oh yeah.
That to me, it didn't seem like it was anything this time around. I guess it was just handled completely different contextually. So I didn't understand what the hubbub would be about it.
I don't. That one was
because.
Nah.
It was a completely passive experience.
Yeah.
In the last game, you had to do stuff in it and walk through it and experience it, and it was completely different.
You weren't driving the truck in this one.
I just feel like them putting the warning in there is like almost them trolling for controversy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is bad. You should all complain about it.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad, really. So, I don't know. It didn't affect me at all. Troll for controversy?
Yes, that's what I meant.
So, no, it didn't affect me too much. I don't know. It was a lot different.
I'm glad I'm not into the multiplayer part of it, only because then I'd want to buy the game.
Yeah.
But as a renter, it's awesome campaign to go through. I think it's enjoyable. I wouldn't mind checking out the co-op on it too. So
yeah, I want to look at the co-op. So maybe we can
I'll just
check
hold
that
on.
out.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't mind. I mean, we'll talk about
That's
it.
Craig. I mean, I
know you're really good. You're really
I jump
good.
on and play anytime anybody asks.
Oh yeah,
I know. I hear about that.
You guys are jerks.
We're not jerks. We're real.
I'm the jerk.
Real.
We're real. We're not jerks. We're real. So yeah, I'll have more because I'm gonna look into doing the multiplayer. And like I said, I think I'm gonna make a genuine effort to try and get in there. And
That'd be sweet. That'd be funny.
the next time I'll be like, "Where? See that headshot? No scope.
What's up?
Drop ship. Whatever
ship.
he said.
Care package.
Care package. A love letter.
Care Bears.
Care Bears.
Care Bears.
So that's anything else you got on Modern Warfare
You can call
3?
your squad the Care Bears.
Care Bears. See, that's what they need.
What?
It's like totally have something like that, but have like GTA style type. Oh, I
What?
need to melt.
I don't know
that.
what you're talking about.
Finish your idea.
Like that
in your
I could,
head.
Like I could totally like design what they look like and
Design
stuff like
what?
that.
Who looks like?
My soldiers.
You're like squad,
Yeah. That'd
like
be
in the
sweet.
campaign or in the multiplayer?
Like
Because in the multiplayer, I think there is some customization.
yeah, there
available.
is, but I didn't play it.
But you want them to look like furries.
Nah, that'd be awesome too. I just have them
I think you're
wearing.
getting all your games.
I just have them wearing kick-ass SEAL gear all the time. That's all because
like
that's
seals,
like yeah, those kind of seals, the kind.
like honk the horn seals.
No, like total like Navy SEAls
Oh, okay.
wearing gas masks and just killing people all the time. All right.
Like a Frogger suit
Yes.
from GI Joe.
suit?
Frogman
okay.
suit, whatever they were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Torpedo.
Not Frogger.
Torpedo.
That's back
Wetsuit,
to the
Deep Six.
Why are we even doing a show?
I'm naming all the GI Joe underwater guys.
This literally is
Barbecue. Oh,
no,
I failed.
you did fail.
barbecue.
People would say airtight, but no, he jumped out of planes.
Into the water.
Welcome to our GI Joe podcast.
Yo, Joe.
All right, so we done with Modern Warfare for now.
Yeah.
All right, how about some Skyrim?
I'm trying to think of names for your G.I. Joe podcast now.
Let's not. So Skyrim. I've been Skyrimming for
And now you know
a week
would be
fully.
the name of it.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You also
the
played some
battle.
Skyrim,
No, and now you know. That'd be it.
and now you know.
No, I was saying half the battle as an alternative. No, okay.
We can sidebar that.
Yeah. You guys
We
did
can have a
it.
private chat.
Great.
GI Joe podcast private chat.
I always give. If it's 3 votes, it doesn't ever work because then the odd man out every time. But
I don't know
Skyrim
what's
was pretty
happening.
good.
Let's talk about Skyrim.
Skyrim was pretty good.
I've played a little bit of Skyrim in the last week or so, and I
did
have
too.
not been sleeping whatsoever, and I've been making terrible decisions because of this game, and I love
Oh
it.
yeah, it's the game's fault.
Yeah.
You would know better than anybody. Don't you know how these things happen? Haven't we had this conversation about how you won't buy things because you know what'll happen? Like when we talked about Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't stay up all night though.
I have no control though. I talk about our control issues, and I have none with this.
Well-
when it's 3:30, and I'm like, what am I doing?
That's
am
what
stupid.
The first night I played Skyrim, I
Yes.
rented it on the Red Box.
Surprises me by the way that you played it. So I'm
That's for the show. All for the
That's
show.
awesome. I want to hear about it.
You know. And plus, I wanted to play it. I want to
Yeah.
check it out. And I rented from the Red Box. Just did a night rental. Had to go to a football game the next morning pretty early. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a couple hours in and just do the first little jobby to do.
That's what I'm talking about.
I knew I'd have to go somewhere. Of course, you always have to go somewhere, talk to someone, and then go somewhere else.
Set up your character and do your first mission or whatever.
So then that's what I was willing to do. But then it was probably getting close to 4:30, and I'm like, I gotta get up in 3 hours, and I'm like, well, I'll just do the dungeon crawl and get this over with. I had spent like so much time like walking up a side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Like, I can get there from here. And then I would just kept walking. And then I'm like, oh, I can. And then I got to a part where I couldn't, so I had to go back. But that game is too big. It's too big.
It's not too big.
For me, it is.
It's not, though, if you have the time to do it. That's the issue. So, I mean, if you have the time investment that you want to put into it, it's awesome. Because did you have fun doing that? Do you like exploring and finding that stuff?
I had fun once I learned I could switch it over to third person view, which I thought was really cool about it.
Yeah, I don't like the third person view, but
sorry.
That's okay.
I liked it.
I'm glad it's there for people.
I had fun with it, but I just need someone to keep me on track a little bit more, I guess.
See, and for me, part of that fun of that game is the exploring and finding things on my own. And in fact, there was one night that
Sean spent 8 hours in Saints Row 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Just doing whatever you wanted, right? Making your own fun.
Exactly.
But this is a much different pace.
Yes.
Yeah, because
that was more densely packed.
Yeah, I can run across somebody, in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Where on this, I'm walking and walking.
So I had to get from one town to another town,
You didn't
right?
Duke anybody in Skyrim?
I couldn't Duke anybody. I couldn't even afford a horse, but I wanted to kill the guy to steal his horse. Jerk.
You could have done that.
I wasn't gonna because I'm a good lord.
Good guy. So anyway, there was one night I played, and I needed to go from one town to this other town way far in the southeast. Southeast. And so I could take like a caravan and ride there, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to walk. It's a long ways, but I'm going to walk. So I made one start point outside of this town, and I walked there. 6 hours I spent. I went from that point to the other point, and I had the best time of my life ever. It was amazing. I didn't do anything other than just like avoid animals and fight wolves and bears and stuff that attacked me. But
that's what I have other problem with is those wolves.
Why?
Because they showed up and just started killing me.
Oh. Well, see, the other thing is I'm playing...
I didn't hear them. They just showed up. There was no... And then all of a sudden I heard howling earlier.
Yeah.
Like, earlier. But he must have been howling from up on the ridge.
Ninjas.
And
See,
then he was like, oh...
I'm totally like stealthy archer, like ninja dude.
Yeah.
So my guy is like just sneaking around everywhere anyway and like kills everything before they even see me. And it's awesome.
Well,
it's going to be hard for me to play the other way, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, because I do, as I'm playing, I want to play as a magician or like a mage as far as using spells and things like that, because I'm not using it too much right now. And I see the people that are playing and they're like, I want to run in and like throw a big Hadouken fireball at somebody and like just be like, what now, bitches?
Yeah.
And, like just set everybody on fire. But if I did that now, they'd be like, whatever, and then hit me with their sword and I'd die. So, because as I walk into a room now, I just take everybody out sneaking and they don't even ever see me.
Yeah.
Or they're standing right in front of me and they're like, is somebody there? And I'm like, right in front of them with like a bow pulled, and I'm like, think. And they like die in one hit. It's awesome. So just starting at the beginning though, the character creation this time around, did anybody else here play Oblivion? I don't remember.
Yeah, I played Oblivion.
You played Oblivion. And you were Fallout too, right? As well. So it's a bit of a meld between those two.
Yeah.
It's very much redefined since Oblivion, and a much more basic setup, which I love at the beginning.
I like the creator of it.
You pick your class, and that's it. Before, when you would set up a character, you would have to pick your character. You would have to put points into different aspects and attributes.
Right, yeah, they got rid of
You don't have to do that anymore,
so.
which is awesome.
But they got the perks now.
They have perks, which, they carry that stuff over, which is really well done. And your attributes build up, your skills build up by using those particular things. So it's all tailored to how you play, which is brilliant. And I love it because I started the sneaking thing and the archery thing, and that just built up by the nature of me using it.
Right.
And then once you level up every time you raise a couple different attributes. When you go up a couple of levels there, like, I don't know if it's 10 to 12 or whatever, levels that you've raised, and all of those have up to a level 100. Every time you do that, you go up a level yourself, and then you just have to choose if you want to put 10 bonus points into Magicka, health, or stamina. And then once you do that, you then get a perk that you can go into your perk trees and unlock perks based on whatever you want to do. and that's all based on the level that you are at of that that particular skill. I think it's a brilliant system. I think it's really well done. Managing the trees, they do them in constellations up in the sky, which is really neat looking, but it's kind of a pain to get around sometimes.
I thought it was really,
but it's really cool looking.
I thought it was cool looking, and then it was just like
there's a couple things that are form over function in this game. That's one of them, and then the overview map of the world is another one of them.
Yeah,
where they go this topography style, so you can see like relief and you can see mountains, and things have height to them and depth to them. But it's really hard to see paths that way, or to like see where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
So it adds a little bit to the fun of me in exploring and experiencing things and like trying to find out and getting around. But it is kind of annoying when you want to get somewhere and you don't know where you're supposed to walk. So it looks neat, but then there's also like once you start filling in tons of things that you find throughout the world and they show up on your map, there's no way to remove icons.
Oh,
so there's like caves, there's giant camps, there's towers that you go into, there's crypts, there's tons of different things, and you can't remove any of them. So my map right now looks ridiculous.
And you can't zoom in and kind of space that out a little bit?
You can zoom in. Yeah, there is options to zoom in. But if I'm looking around and want to see, okay, what caves have I cleared? What caves have I not cleared? There's no way to like break that down without going through and looking at every one of them. And they do nice. This is a nice addition. They do note on the cave if it's been cleared.
That's good.
So those areas are noted, but not until you hover over them. So I'd literally be looking through like hundreds of icons to see what's been cleared and what hasn't if I want to go through and do everything, which is kind of annoying.
That's weird that they didn't just have a different color. Like usually most games they just have it go bright to dark or something.
Yeah,
like
what
that.
they do is that if an location's on your map, it's black if you haven't been to it. But once you've discovered it, they change it to white. But then there's no difference beyond that.
That's weird.
Yeah, which is kind of it. I just wish that there was a way to manipulate that map a little bit, make it a little more convenient to take things off of there or mark things, or I don't know. It just seems like the form was looked at and not so much how it operates.
Yeah.
So, but I'm having a blast with it. I can't stop playing it. You mentioned before about it took you 8 hours to get to your first mission in
well, that's what I liked about Skyrim is like that first night, it did take me a while, but that was my own problem. And that's what my own problem with that game is. And I think that's why a game like Grand Theft...
you decided to walk up the mountain.
Exactly.
But it's not a problem.
But that's the thing is like a part of me is like feels
it is a problem if it kills his enjoyment of the game.
But it does because I spend more time and then I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished and it's almost like wasted. And then I just get more annoyed with myself because it's my own play style.
Because it's not like he spent hours doing things. He spent an hour trying to walk up the mountain to get to the place.
And then that's what I have. I think it's when it comes to these kind of games. And then I got over encumbered or whatever.
Over encumbered.
So I just started dropping shit. I had a trail behind me.
Dude, I did the other night. I like that. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I like to collect things in these games and not get rid of them. But I have a treasure chest in my house that I own, and it has. I
don't
go
want
there.
You to say it on the show. This is creepy.
I go there. No, what's creepy?
The drawer with all the.
Oh, that's something different.
Okay.
That's something different. This is just my treasure chest that has like all the stuff in it.
Okay.
And so I wanted to see how much it would weigh if I took everything out of it and put it on me. I can carry 330 pounds or 350 pounds or something like that right now. My character can. And I put everything from my treasure chest on me, and it was like 1,800 pounds of stuff. So I just go there and like drop everything off all the time. I don't sell anything ever because I don't ever need to worry about money. My guy gets it from other places, or I don't even worry about spending money. I just find stuff.
Yeah.
And I get set on the things that I have, and I don't need to worry about upgrading or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but there is a hoarder. Yeah. What you were talking about was when my guy got all depressed because there are companions in this game now too.
I don't know if this. Okay. Yeah.
There were companions before, like in Fallout and things like that, where you could get guys and go around with you. Yeah. I found that they really do them really well in this game, where they kind of mimic how your playstyle is, which is nice. I mean, you do have different types. You can get like mages or archers or just regular combatant ones. But the chick that I had with me for a long time, I think I ended up going with like, I didn't know they could die. They can die if they fall enough times, and I think
die in Fallout too. Yeah.
But could they take a bunch of damage and fall first, and then they die eventually? Is that how it works?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know if I ever traveled around with them too much, besides that big giant one.
Yeah,
and that one didn't
mutant.
ever take any damage. He was like a pimp, or she. I think it was a girl.
No,
wasn't it?
Not if it was the mutant. No.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a chick.
No.
Okay. Regardless,
you just made love to him. Is all.
That could be. She told me she was a woman, and we had to have the lights off. But in this one, I
what
had
is this lump? It's a mutation.
Like for 10 hours, I was going around with the same companion, and then we took on like a bunch of dragons. We went through caves. It was awesome. I would creep in with my sneak, and she would go into sneak mode behind me, and really wouldn't.
You got your photos taken in those little booths.
We did
together.
Yeah. Totally. We invented those and then had our pictures taken. So I would most of the time clear out a room before she would have to even get involved. But if somebody came at me, she'd run forward and like take them out and then distract them, and I'd sit back with my bow. So it was like a perfect combo.
Yeah.
And then she died. Nah. And I didn't know she could die. And I think I accidentally killed her because I hit her. And I think what happens is they die if they take more damage than they have to begin with.
Sure.
And I think I hit her with an arrow when she didn't see me, so I did 3 times damage. So I think it was my own hand that took her out. So then I was totally role-playing. My character got all super depressed because I'd spent 10 hours with this lady, you know?
So, I wish you had video recorded all this, because I would specifically learn video editing so that I could put together like a montage. I do like a cheery one with like my buddy playing in the background or something.
You could make a
Me
movie
and my
out of this.
shadow,
yes,
and then a teary-eyed one, all like in black and white or sepia tone or something.
She's go.
I totally role-played him getting all depressed and mad. So then I went and joined the Dark Brotherhood, which is when you go out and do murder contracts with people because he didn't care about life anymore.
Right.
And so I just went out and was like,
this is what I love. Congratulations.
He was exactly. I always felt like Craig Dresser. So he went out and he like.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It's probably an insult of some sort. I don't know. But I was totally making this whole story for the character. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go kill everybody. And then I got done with those Brotherhood missions, and he's like, oh, he's leaving that life behind. Now he's going to move on. But I totally had kept like a separate treasure chest of all the murder victims, like an item from each of them. And now I'm going to go throw all those in a river.
Nice.
He's going to get rid of all of them. Yes, I'm going to get rid of all of them. It was awesome. I was having a ton of fun with it. And it makes sense to me. It. And so now I'm going to go join the Thieves Guild because that's a next step up. You know, he's trying to go straight, but not completely straight yet.
He's still punishing himself.
Yes. And then once I get done with the Thieves, he'll go to the Champions and be like a big hero. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. So that's what I've spent my 50 hours on in the last 2 weeks, or 1 week, I guess.
That's not bad. I didn't get that far into it.
You were talking about the mission thing, and I was at 42-hour mark the other night, and I have completed 5 storyline missions, which I think there's 10 in the first act of the 3 acts of the game. Yeah. So I haven't even like touched any. I've just been doing whatever.
That was pretty much my experience with Oblivion too, though.
Doing whatever.
I mean, yeah, with a lot of these RPGs, you know, especially for players like myself, you want to do all the side missions you can before you really start doing story progress, because you're afraid that things are going to get cut off later or something.
So I'm progressing.
And by things, I mean parts of your body.
So I haven't messed around with the spells too much, like I said before. Mutations. What is that lump?
Mutation.
I haven't messed around with the spells. I do like the dual the option to dual wield.
Yeah,
spells.
that was pretty sweet. Oh, I didn't have that. I dual wielding. I was hitting people with maces and swords, though.
Yeah, because you can dual wield weapons and have. There's the block option now, which I didn't. Again, I haven't been able to mess around with the block too much because I don't even get into combat. I just arrow everybody from far away. But it does make me want to play another character that operates on a close combat kind of situation. Yeah. And dual wielding spells is going to kind of be awesome, I think. Putting fire in both hands and just letting it go. You can be Iceman with your ice.
Well, I thought that was... I got like a regen, and that was just like... I remember you had talking about that before, where you can just keep your hand on it and just go in and just... You're regen the whole time while killing everybody, and it's just constantly until your magic runs out, of course, or your mana or whatever you want to call it. But
I believe in Oblivion they had the hotkey with the directional pad, and you could like put up to 8 things and like easily select it. Yeah. I do kind of miss that because you can do 2 things in this. And then you have a favorites list where anything that's in your inventory you can mark as a favorite. And then if you push up on your directional pad,
you'll just kind of cycle through the list.
Well, no, it actually pauses the action. And it brings up a list over here that's all the things you favorited. So you can quick select instead of having to go in and go to spells or whatever.
That's nice.
And it keeps everything just alphabetically: spells, armor, weapons, whatever you want to favorite. So it's still a little easy to quick change on some of that stuff if you favorite everything. But I wish it was a little easier with some of the spells, because you could really only have one spell loaded up.
Sure.
And then have to go in and still manipulate around. I would like to have 8 of them so I could like easily select it. But that's, minor. I've gotten used to it. It just took a while to get used to it, I think.
I can't wait to find out what happens when your character accidentally becomes a vampire or something.
No, that's not going to happen. You can become a werewolf too. I saw accidentally, because I got the strategy guide, which I've used.
That would be really cool.
Exactly.
I would stand out in the woods for hours.
Sean's gonna go searching for werewolves covering himself in meat.
So get this. I got the strategy.
The game's done.
I got the strategy guide, which the strategy guide is almost 700 pages, and that thing is jam packed of information. It is awesome, and I can't recommend it enough. But I use it as a resource at this point,
right?
Where if I've done something, because I don't like spoilers, obviously. But if I've done something or I want to reference something I just did to make sure I didn't severely screw something up, or I wanted to see what I can do to be invisible or something like that, I'll look up bits and pieces of information, but not like full on like story information. But Erin was looking through it, my wife was looking through it, and she had a bookmark in there, and it opened to that page, and I'm like, it was on the page of like becoming a werewolf. And so it's basically an entire page of all the things that happen when you become a werewolf. So basically at night you become the werewolf. You are in beast mode. All your stats change this way. You can't collect any items, but you do. So it's like an entirely different play style.
That'd be really cool.
You could totally run around as a werewolf.
That would be
and like
sweet.
Start with just killing animals, and then you could kill people.
Yeah, I'd kill people, and then I'd befriend the animals.
Okay, there you go.
And you live out in the woods.
Yes, it'd be the world of Skyrim and animals, and the werewolf.
But see,
you just stay outside of villages until night and then terrorize them. That's awesome.
I'd be nice.
See what I'm
We
saying?
need to buy Sean a copy of Skyrim.
I would be nice during the day and like do things for people, and then kill them later that night.
and that's why you talk about.
You'd look at them with a sorry look because you know what's coming.
I'm gonna whitewash your fence, but I'll probably kill you after I turn a werewolf tonight.
You say about like wasting time, but there is so much. It's a game that you really make your own.
Yeah,
like you do whatever you want for the most part. You don't want to do any of those missions? Don't. There's still a ton of game you can still experience without doing any of the missions in the game. Obviously, the dragons are the other big thing. The last big thing probably that we haven't talked about. Which, how'd you feel about? Did you have to do a dragon fight at all?
No, I just saw
walking up a mountain.
I assumed I
didn't know how you got.
I assumed that was the next big thing,
Yeah,
because
probably.
with that one showing up at the very beginning,
It's pretty early.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I did that first mission and then kind of went off on my own like you talked about. And it wasn't until about the 25-30 hour mark that I went back and like, well, maybe I should do this other mission. Because I was running into dragon information and I'm like, I have no idea how these dragon shouts work. I don't know how any of it. I need to really, like, I got a couple of the other words because you learn words as you go along in certain places. And those are what opens up the dragon shouts that are like your special abilities.
Yeah.
That you then have to kill dragons, absorb their spirits or their souls. And then that unlocks those abilities. But I didn't do that mission, which is like the second mission in the game. So I'm like, I need to figure out what's going on with these dragons. But then once you do that, they open up and they're all over the place. Well, and then you can fight them on the reg.
I had that same thing with the Saints Row, because I was fighting a big group, a big gang, and then these big dudes started showing up. Because like as your threat level gets bigger, just like if you're cops, you would get tanks, helicopters, SWAT, blah blah blah. Well, they get bigger. Like they had this really mutated like Juggernaut type guy that just ran around and bashed you in, and then another guy that carried a Gatling gun around, and he was all armored up and he was all huge. Well, I'm like, where are these guys showing up? The second mission was where he was introduced to one of the big guys.
And I was like, ahead of the game, don't we?
I was like, what the fuck is that running at me? And I'm like, I just got on a bike and vroom, gone.
Well, there's another problem I had too, where I would go through all these caves as I'd find them.
Yeah.
And some of the caves are like a 15-minute experience, and some of them are like a 2-hour experience, and you don't know till you go in.
Yeah.
And I would get things, and I'd come out of it, and I would try to put them in my treasure chest, and they're like, you can't remove quest items. I'm like, nobody's talked to me about this. So I know I'm going to come across somebody. They're like, can you find this for me? I'm like, yeah, here.
That's awesome.
So then I kind of stopped.
You mean this?
You're amazing. I stole it from you.
And then you killed him.
So I kind of slowed down on that because I maybe want to try and get the quest first and know what I'm doing instead of just going in blindly and collecting everything. I'm a hoarder. I might have that at home.
Well, so
I'll be right back.
That's what I always wanted.
Which color did you want?
That's what I always wanted from Red Dead Redemption. I went out and picked like fucking everything.
Yeah.
And then they'd go, oh, well, you need 6 wildflowers. Like, motherfucker, I got 25 in my inventory.
Yeah.
It's done. Here you go.
But it's since we've told you.
Yeah, no.
I don't want those bad ones.
I will kick you
I want
in the
fresh ones.
I will kick you in the balls.
Come on, Sean.
I know.
Did you run into any bugs while you were playing it? There's plenty of bugs.
Just spiders.
Game bugs.
Oh no. A little bit
Yeah.
slowed down just a tiny bit, but that was my own fault because I was probably in a place that I shouldn't have been. Like any real person wouldn't have gone there. So
We had to. That's what I love trying to do.
Climb
too.
up a dragon's butt or something?
no, I don't know. It's just like things if that's the problem with these. Like in a city, I walk to a building, I gotta walk around it. If it's open ground, I just keep walking, and if it allows me to keep walking, I'm gonna keep fucking walking.
And scaling up a side of a mountain, jumping, and
yeah.
trying to cheat it. Yeah, I know. That's what I do all the time. I'm like, I'm getting up there.
And
And then you get stuck.
Yeah,
The
and then you
listeners
gotta.
totally missed out on Sean's jumping action.
That's what you do. You're like,
It looks
awesome.
good. So I've run into a couple things where like things will drop out of the sky. You know, that happens because the game is huge, so I forgive it. And usually when the bugs happen, they're hilarious for me. So like I was walking and there was a bear that was going to chase me, and a dead horse fell out of the sky and like just landed on the ground. Yeah, it was like up ahead, like it just fell out of the sky and landed. And I went up to it and it was like a dead horse, and I'm like,
God's
okay.
up there snickering.
It was hilarious, so I didn't even care that it happened.
That's awesome.
But then there was another one the other day where a giant just appeared out of the ground. Like I was walking and like
Erupt.
ahead of me in the distance a little bit, a giant like popped up out of the ground. I'm like, well, that's odd that he just popped up. But then a dragon popped up underneath him. He was on top of a dragon. And it was flying into the air. So basically it took him way up and then he fell off.
And then you said, I need to invent a van and paint this on the side.
I was like, this is fucking hilarious. But then last night I fell through the floor, so that didn't help.
there's stuff
I
like
like
that.
jumped off a ledge
It was a magical spell.
and I fell through a floor and I was all of a sudden the next level down, like in front of this door, and I'm like, what the shit just happened? So I had to reset that one. But
Oh.
and it's only frozen on me once, which I've had a lot of people say that it's been freezing. But it autosaves so often that I haven't had a huge problem with
Well, that's
any
good.
of that. So
Yeah.
I love it. I can't stop playing it. I'm not going to stop playing it. I'm going to
You
talk about
can't
it.
make me stop
I'm
playing.
going to talk about it a ton next time. I'll give you an update on where my depressed character is. He's coming
That's
out
right.
of depression.
You should just make that the... What's your character's name?
PAX.
The PAX Chronicles.
The PAX Chronicles.
There you go.
Just because you're going to be playing this for
I
like
should
a
write
year.
it in diary form.
You should just give us an update. I'll put like some music behind it. It'll be good.
I will try to do that. That'd be awesome.
That
actually.
would be.
This
A
week,
segment?
this week on the PAX Chronicles.
That'd be great. I'm going to do that. Do I have to do a... Can you alter my voice
I
to
can,
like make
yeah.
me sound like an elf?
Yes.
A wood elf?
Sure.
We need to take this offline. This is going to be great. I'm in. The PAX Chronicles. Look forward to them.
You might get one episode.
I feel bad now that I'll try to recap some of it because I've had 40 hours of experience with PAX that isn't documented now.
Oh.
You can do past packs.
Past PAX. No, we'll start at the beginning. That's fine.
No, but you can have them you reference stuff from the, February 7th.
This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
You go to the day of release. I
Well,
stumbled
there's
upon
date in the game.
I stumbled upon the windy
City.
cavern of whatever ball sack that was with the spiders in it. Fuckers. Why's it got to be spiders right off the bat?
Because
I know.
It's a-
and they're terrible.
it's a sword and sorcery
They are
game.
terrible.
Every sword and sorcery game needs giant spiders at
But
the
they
beginning.
look ridiculously terrible. Like
Yeah.
they are so disgusting.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And then there's one of the load. I do love the load screens too, that they put an image on there that you can manipulate and turn around, and it makes because there's a lot of loading.
Yeah.
But it makes those go quick when you can like see like a 3D scale model that would normally be an unlock in the game, but now you can just do it while you're waiting for it to load,
Yeah.
which is cool. Except there's one with a spider. And it's gross.
I don't like the spiders.
There's a mod on the PC side that replaces all the spiders with bears.
That's awesome.
It's for arachnophobia people. Arachnophobic folks.
But what about, because you get the giant spiders and a big bear?
Well, the bear.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so how it works
With, like,
is
horns.
How it works is it just replaces the
Scorpion
model, so they look a little weird
Oh.
when they walk because they kind of walk upright. I think.
Oh, sure.
Like they're in their upright all the time, and their attack is low. So if you shoot it high, it goes through them because they're really still the spiders.
Yeah.
So they're occupying the same space as the spider, but they're shaped like the bears.
It's awesome.
So apparently it makes things weird. But
Bear-shaped spiders.
You don't have to look at them anymore. They're just like dropping from the ceiling of webs. They're like big bears.
That's awesome.
I saw that online, which is hilarious.
That's really cool.
Care Bears.
Spider bears.
And we've come full circle on the Care Bears.
And that's how we finish.
The end. Oh, wait, I got to do the other stuff at the end.
The other duff?
The other stuff.
All I want for Christmas is my tooth.
SignInPodcast.com, our website. You can check out a link to our Twitter, our Facebook fan page. That's what she said. Signed in.
I don't even.
That's also what she said.
A link to our forums and all the other pseudo radio shows that these other guys do in various forms.
Various forms. That's right.
And with various people.
Triangular.
Email us at comments@signedinpodcast.com if you want to hear those the PAX Chronicles.
Right in.
Let us know.
Let us know.
If we get enough of an uproar,
PAX
maybe
Chronicles.
I'll actually make it happen. But I can't guarantee it'll actually be entertaining.
Probably won't happen. But we might get one episode out of him.
You might. Email us at comments@signedinpodcast.com. If you listen to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment. We would appreciate that greatly. It's been a while since we've had any ratings or comments on there. So do that. Unless we're just not getting new people to listen to us, which is possible. We've tapped our audience. Tapped them out. Next episode, I'm going to try and get some other games other than Skyrim. I'm going to try and do some multiplayer on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. What about you guys? Anything?
Oh, I don't know what's coming out.
Nothing. I want to get some Assassin's Creed.
Because a lot of the downloadable games are drying up in this season.
When's SmackDown 12 come out?
I think it's next week.
Okay.
So that is I think that's almost the last game that's really towards the end of the year here.
Because I would like to play that.
WWE 12.
Yep. I don't know why, but for some reason
I don't know either.
want to play it.
Because every time I tried to play it since the PS2, it's not been fun.
And I haven't played it really.
You liked Legends, didn't you?
I liked the way that they did some of the gameplay, but I don't know just the regular WWE ones that haven't been.
That was good times then.
With a multi-tap.
Mm-hmm. That was some
old
good
school
times.
Old school PS2.
Yep.
Back when I was like, suck it, Xbox.
Let's go, D-bags.
That's right.
And then they were like, PS3, we're going to ruin everything. And I'm like, I want an Xbox. And here we are. That was our origin in 5 seconds. Is that it? You guys good?
Yeah.
All right. See everybody next time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Receiving this transmission. This has been a pseudo radio production. Repeat, this has been a pseudo radio production. Copyright 2011.